Hey guys, welcome to our first video in our how-to series. Together Riley and I have sailed over 60,000 nautical miles and we had a lot of requests from you guys to make these videos, so finally we've got it done and we're really stoked. We've made videos about everything from how to anchor your sailboat to renewable energy, and these videos will be released in the next 4 months or so.
So these videos are going to go hand in hand with our sail guide, which we have been working really hard on to try and give you guys the essentials, what we think that you guys will need to start your own around the world adventure. What we've tried to include is everything that I wish that I had known before I set off on my original adventure without any experience at all.
So if you guys do end up liking this video and you find it useful and informative, you can check out our sail guide in the link in the description below and you'll get access to all of our how-to videos right now instead of having to wait for the next few months.
Perhaps even more.
But we'll touch base on this again later on. First, we are talking about entering and exiting a marina.
So we'll give some examples here, but it's very important to understand that each situation is different, and something that is true one day might not necessarily be true the next. You can't just practice the one manoeuvre and expect it to work in each different situation. And it's important to have all crew understand the overall objective of what's going on.
Pay attention to the wind and the currents, have a look if there's any flags around, wind indicators. You can also look at the ripples on the water and any other very localised signs. Marinas are often protected from the prevailing wind, but this can sometimes cause an inconsistent wind, so you really want to be feeling the wind on your face.
Always prepare your lines and fenders in advance.
Make a plan before each manoeuvre and be sure to communicate it with the rest of your crew.
On our boat we have dagger boards which we can either raise or lower to help with drift management.
Alright, now let's get into it. So we're going to start with exiting a marina because that's usually what people do first.
If you're leaving with the wind blowing you off the dock, it's very simple. You just loosen the lines, keeping the boat parallel, and you drift out.
Make sure not to leave any lines in the water that could get caught in your props. If you're leaving the dock with the wind pushing you against it, what you want to do is use your biggest fender at the bow and have it in between yourself and the dock and use it as a kind of pivot point.
Leave the line closest to the fender which you're using as a pivot point and remove and make safe all the other lines.
With practice you'll be able to hold position and pivot the vessel out by using the throttle one in forwards and the other in reverse.
The crew needs to maintain good communications with the helmswoman.
As the boat peels off the dock, release the last line and you're away.
Once again, pay attention to the wind and current.
Remove the leeward lines.
If it is quite windy, or particularly if it's gusting, wait for a lull in the wind.
Remove the stern line and throttle forwards.
On your way out, remove the bow line and you're away.
Entering a marina. Email in advance to reserve yourself a berth and get them on the VHF radio as you're coming in. Sometimes they might not respond. We've been forced to go into the marina anyway and pick ourselves out a berth, and then they notice you later and probably get you to move, but it's better than hanging around outside the marina all day, in my opinion.
Stealing someone's spot.
Yeah, only for a little while. Entering a marina, side onto a dock. Pay attention to the wind and the current.
If the wind is blowing you onto the dock, it's very simple. You just have to remain parallel and drift in. You can use an engine to slow down the impact depending on the angle that you come in on, and you will of course have your fenders out.
If the wind is blowing you away from the dock, you can either approach using your stern or your bow, and the same thing, you want to attach a line to the dock and use this as a pivot point. You can then use the leeward engine to power your boat into position. Entering a marina into a finger key. Back in, making sure that your initial approach is against the wind or current if possible.
Aim for the windward pole and lasso it with a bowline.
Use this as your pivot point with which to manoeuvre your boat into position.
Tie off all 4 corners of your boat and make safe, remembering that the wind can change direction.
So just to touch on a couple more things, how come you're driving the boat? Why are you helming? Why aren't I doing that?
Well, it never used to be this way. It used to be Riley at the helm and me trying to throw the ropes and tie them off and jump onto the jetty. And we just found that Riley is a bit more nimble and flexible. I call him the monkey man. So we've traded roles because I think anyone can drive at the helm, and I think women are a bit softer on the gears better, too. Yeah. So that's what I've done now going into the marina, and Riley is really good at tying knots real quick and thinking fast, so that's worked best for us. And I know a lot of other cruisers do it this way as well, but vice versa, it's fine.
One last thing where people get into trouble is they think that their boat is just going forwards or backwards. So the analogy that I've heard, which I think is quite good, is it's not like a car that's just going forwards or backwards. It's more like a car on ice, where it's always, to some degree, drifting sideways and around the place. And that's a better way to think about it.
Yeah, and unless you have that forward motion, you're going to be drifting some way.
Yeah, until we pick up speed.
Yeah.
So probably a lot of people watching have downloaded our old free sailing guide, which was only 24 pages long, and we decided eventually wasn't really reflective of the quality that we would like to be producing for you guys. The guide now is over 100 pages long. It's something that we worked really hard on. We're very proud of it, and it's accompanied by 6 how-to videos. So I'm probably not supposed to say this, but given the amount of information that you can find online now, people are completing university degrees. You can YouTube how a common rail diesel engine works and common failure points. What we're trying to do is create a very cheap and very easy way for people to get their hands on the necessary information that you need to start your own adventure. It's not comprehensive, but given the fact that we've made the how-to videos that are accompanying it, I don't know of anything else out there that's quite like it.
I've independently asked several people what they think something like this would be worth, and they said about $80. So,
no, thank you.
So we decided on $20 for the guide, and like I said earlier, you guys get the videos early.
Cheap as chips. Can't afford not to buy it. Honestly though, if this guide was sitting on the table of my old boat when I first walked on board,
which it can't be because it's a PDF.
Very good.
If you had access to it,
it would have saved me so much heartache, and things would have been a lot safer as well, believe me. It's in PDF format, so it's really easy to navigate. You can click on the links and they'll take you to the rest of the how-to videos. One last thing is that we have tried to cover everyone from a 20-foot monohull to a 80-foot trimaran. So it should be, everything is sort of the same and interwoven. So there's no need to think that if you're only a 20-foot monohull, you don't need our guide, because you do.
Alright, that's enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and
if you like and subscribe,
thank you.
Did you mean to go and ruin everybody?
Okay.
Swallow it, chew it up, and do it again.
Today's music.
Babe, don't sing.
Same song.
Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll.
Okay, alright. It's hard to concentrate.
I like that old.
Are you looking at my wing nuts? Stop looking at my wing nuts. Looking at my wing nuts. So, today's music.